With Queen Elizabeth II's recent death, we're looking back at some of the most surprising facts about her life. After 70 years on the throne, the longest reigning monarch in British history had some interesting hobbies, duties, and royal possessions that are not known by many people. For example, the Queen had a glass of champagne every night. She also started the day off with a gin cocktail, although given her recent health issues she might have cut back a bit toward the end. Let's have a look at more surprisingly facts about Queen Elizabeth II, but before that I request you to like the video and subscribe the channel if you have not still subscribed. The Queen was known for her love of Corgis. In fact, she had owned more than 30 of the breed throughout her life. But did you know which was the first Corgi she bred? That was her sister Princess Margaret's pet dog, a Dachshund whose name was Pippin. Since 1989, Queen has worn one shade of nail polish, and that one shade is ballet slippers by Essie. That is a shade of palest pearly pink, and the Queen's first bottle was originally ordered for her by her hairdresser. In 1944, when Princess Elizabeth was 18, she joined the auxiliary Territorial service with which she trained as a truck driver and a mechanic in order to play her part in a war that began when she was 13 years old. She was the only female member of the British royal family to have served in the military. The Queen had two birthdays. She turned 96 on April 21, 2022, but celebrated her official birthday in June, in the midst of her Jubilee celebration. The tradition of the monarch celebrating an official birthday began more than 250 years ago, with King George II deciding to publicly celebrate his birthday in the summer rather than cold and wet November. And so, since 1748, every British monarch has carried on the tradition, so that there would be less chance of poor weather impeding outdoor celebration than military parades celebrating their birthdays. The Queen was gifted a miniature cottage when she was 6 years old. YBW Thinbach, that means little house, is an adorable thatched windy house given to Princess Elizabeth by the people of Wales on her 6th birthday. It was placed in the grounds of Royal Lodge in Windsor. The house was modeled on a typical Welsh cottage and contained a miniature radio, china set, portrait of the Queen's mother, books, pots, pans, brooms, and a working telephone. The Queen's birthplace is now a world-famous restaurant. A London townhouse at 17 Bruton Street was the home of her maternal grandparents and saw the birth of the baby that would go to become Britain's longest reigning monarch. It's now a Cantonese restaurant called Hakkasan. The Queen and Prince Philip received over 2,500 wedding gifts when they married in 1947. Because nylon stockings were in limited supply due to clothes rationing, 131 pairs were sent to Elizabeth by women across the country. The couple also received a box of apples, 500 tins of pineapple, and an $83 million necklace. Elizabeth met Philip when she was just 8 years old and he was 13 at the wedding of Prince George and Princess Marina. Elizabeth and Philip are themselves third cousins. When Philip was 18, he began writing letters to 13-year-old Elizabeth. After 7 years, they got engaged. You know those brightly colored outfits complete with matching hats that the Queen was so fond of? Well, there's a reason that she dressed in shades of bright pink, yellow, and green. It was so that she would always stand out in a crowd. She was pretty short, so wearing neon and pastel shades helped people catch a glimpse of her during public engagements. Elizabeth's diamond tiara snapped on the morning of her wedding in 1947 as it was being secured to her veil. With only 2 hours till showtime, the headpiece was rushed to the workshop of the Royal Jewellery House Garrett under police escort, where it was hastily welded together. Thanks for watching.